The topic of my TED video is gender. Before I go on with my discussion, think about a few questions. Why did you choose your current major or job? Did your gender play a role in the decision? If you are like students in other areas, there is a chance it did. Research indicates that over 85% of all elementary school teachers are female. Then think about the proportion of female and male students in your college class. Do you think there is a bias between some certain majors and students' gender? In my university back in China, among the 26 students in my class, only 3 were males, and my major was language-related. Research also shows that 53% of bachelor's and 59% of master's degree are earned by women. Gender influences learning. The fact that some of our students are boys and others are girls is so obvious that we tend to not to think about it. When we are reminded, however, we notice that they often act and think differently. Well, let's look at some of these differences. Girls tend to be more extroverted and anxious, and they are more trusting, less assertive, and have slightly lower self-esteem than boys of the same age and background. Girls develop faster, master verbal and motor skills at an earlier age, and prefer activities with social component. Boys are more oriented toward roughhouse play and playing with blocks, cars, or video games, activities that are physical and visual. These tendencies, together with societal expectations, create gender role identity. That is, beliefs about appropriate characteristics and behaviors of males and females. What are the reasons? Gender-based differences result from an interaction between genetics and the environment. Well, the school curriculum also subtly influences gender role identity. Here are some school-related gender differences. In the early grades, girls score as high as or higher than boys, but by the time they graduate from high school or college, they have fallen behind boys. Girls score lower on the SAT and ACT, while the greatest gaps are in science and math. Women also lag far behind men in traditionally male college majors, such as mathematics, physics, engineering, and computer science. On the other hand, boys outnumber girls in remedial English and math classes, and they are held back in grade more often, and are more than twice likely to be classified as special needs students. Boys receive the majority of failing grades, drop out of school 4 times more often than girls, and are cited for disciplinary infractions as much as 10 times more than girls. Boys score lower than girls on subjects of reading and writing. Well, some scholars raised a question. Does the importance of characteristics such as intelligence, personal traits, and motivation as predictors of school achievement differ from boys and girls? They came out with a claim that neither general intelligence nor domain-specific intelligence have been found to be differently related to students to school success when comparing relations for boys versus relations for girls. There have been no consistent findings that the Big 5 personality traits predict school success differently for boys and girls. Motivation is not differently related to school success when comparing relations for boys with relations for girls. And here's the deeper question. Can gender differences in these characteristics explain differences in boys and girls' school achievement? The answers are girls' better verbal ability cannot or can only partly explain their better school performances in language and in general.
Created using Powtoon.